Hello, this is Yasmin Shavir working with the Better Lesson Master Teacher Project, teaching 7th grade math. I wanted to take a moment in this reflection to give you some more context on why I use the paragraph to get students to write about variability and consistency in this classwork. And I also wanted to provide a visual strategy to help push the concept of variability and consistency. So let's take a look at the worksheet. This is the classwork that students are given during this class. At the bottom is included a paragraph where they have to fill in the blanks. Normally, I am not a fan of passive activities such as filling in the blanks, especially in the higher grades. But I actually got this idea from a statistics textbook that I had when I was in college. Statistics was something that was very difficult for me in college, most likely because I wasn't taught Common Core math, statistics. And so I remember that the book had sample paragraphs when you needed to summarize your data. And I was working on my thesis as well. So what I would do is I would mimic the paragraph in the SPSS textbook so that I could then be able to write my own statistics section and explanation of my results in my thesis. So that's where this idea came from. I think students are going to have a better time discussing statistics, variability, and consistency when it's introduced to them at first in this paragraph form. On the next page, the same thing happened. We had the paragraph with the blanks. Now for the visual strategy I mentioned earlier. In this problem, girls' and boys' heights are compared in two basketball teams. So first of all, the graphic organizer for this worksheet was very useful for a lot of students. It was useful for them to see how the deviations were calculated and why it's called absolute deviation. We take the absolute value, we just simply want to know how far it is from the average. And then what I had kids do to visually send the message home about the difference in variability of these two teams is I had them get 2 sheets of paper. On one sheet of paper, I wanted them to draw what the girls' team looks like. I asked them to use stick figures. I wanted them to roughly estimate and draw those heights using those stick figures. That way, we could have 2 pictures they created that we could compare that would show that on the girls' team, the heights were variable. So some would be really tall, some would be really short. Whereas on the boys' team, there was more clumping, meaning more boys were about the same height. This visual strategy of drawing with the stick figures really sent the message home and made the concept sticky for many students about variability, what it means for there to be large variability with the girls and smaller variability with the boys' heights. So that's a strategy I used in the classroom that I hope will help you in making this concept really sticky. Thank you, and hope that helps.